in a small town down in Arkansas, where the river flows. There's a man with a passion that everybody knows. He's got a collection that'll make you stare. Vintage pocket knives laid with tender care.
Howdy, howdy, everybody. Welcome once again to HT's EDC, coming at you this cool, brisk, but sunny Arkansas morning here. Hope everybody is doing well out there, and hope you were coming off a fantastic weekend where you were out doing all the things that your heart desires. It was a pretty uneventful one for me and Miss T, but that's okay too. I just enjoy spending quality time with her, and yeah, so it was just fine. But anyway, we got a cool show for you today. I think been kind of giving some lead up to this one for a few days, so I am ready, excited to get to it. Real quick, we will do what we always do. We will do our what you totin'. And we will let good old Yukon say hello before we do that. He is on the case and watching over the proceedings this morning. But today in the pockets, you already know what we start with. Holy Land Pocket Cross, Brother Dwayne Clark. Never leave home without that. And today we are rocking my newly gifted. This is a newly gifted slip from Brother Stephen up at Sanctified Leather. Check that out. Beautiful, just beautiful slip here. Brother Stephen, I am digging this. Is this the one that you said Dwayne nailed when he called it the shield slip? Maybe, hopefully, but whatever he calls it, I dig it. You can come right in here and get out your knife. And we're not going to open this one up too much, but I tell you what, I am absolutely digging this. This was also, both of these were part of yesterday afternoon's video with me and Cross Creek Outdoors, Brother Dwayne. But this was my gifted knife from Brother Stephen. And I'm just letting you know, I am loving it and toting it today. That is how much I'm digging that. And there'll be more on that later, but folks, that is a little case jackknife. Not going to open it up. It deserves its own video at a later date, but I had to get it in my pocket. So here we go. We know what we got to do. Oh, yeah. Cheers. All right. If you've seen my thumbnail, which you have if you're watching my video, we are doing a new series, and it is called Mount Rushmore Models. And what the basis of this new series, this platform, is any maker, Case, Benchmade, Kaiser, Rough Rider, what is your Mount Rushmore, which is 4, like the 4 presidents on Mount Rushmore, what is your top 4 models from any individual maker? You guys got it? We're going to call it hashtag MRM, Mount Rushmore models, Mount Rushmore models, hashtag yes. So that is what we're going to do. And today we're going to start with Benchmade. Believe it or not, it is Modern Monday Madness or what have you, Modern Monday. So I said, well, for my very first one, and HT don't show a whole lot of them, We're going to do a modern, start this thing off with some moderns, and I am tackling Benchmade. But just to be clear, this is a platform for everybody. Trust me, I don't want this to be, just something I do. This is for everybody, just to use that platform. Mount Rushmore Models. What are your Mount Rushmore? It's a mouthful. What are your Mount Rushmore models from whatever your favorites are? I mean, like I say, it can be fixed blades. It can be LT Wright. What's your Mount Rushmore of LT Wrights? What's your Mount Rushmore of Spyderco? It's just a platform. Show us your favorite, your top 4 from any individual maker. And like I said, I'm going to kick it off, considering this is Monday, with Benchmade, a good old modern knife company, and we're going to get right into it. So this is what HT thinks, personally, is my Benchmade Mount Rushmore. So, you already know, we might as well just get it out of the way, because there's going to be no surprise on one of them here. If you've watched any of my videos on this manufacturer, you already know what I was fixing to show. Ta-da! And yes, sir-ree, it is the Benchmade 940, the OG. My personal opinion, and it is shared by many, many people, that this is the flagship model for the little butterfly. Some people may argue that, but I think longevity, sales, the whole 9 would support what I'm saying. Like it or hate it, this has been around since 2000. They're still making them. They're still going strong. It is just one of the best, most fluid, best in hand. This thing has it all. The Benchmade 940. I love it. Some people have said it is not a good slicer. Okay, I think it is a very adequate slicer. I disagree vehemently that it's a bad slicer. I've actually done videos using this very knife. I've cut different media, and I have cut like strawberries on my channel with this knife. Nothing special. This is no regrind, no Tom Crean regrind on it or anything like that. This is a standard OG 940 that HT keeps his blade. I keep the blade maintained. Nothing special. I'm not no super sharpener, and it slices just fine for me. Love this tip. I believe this blade shape is just the pinnacle for a working knife. We have some belly up here on this right here at this tip. As you can see, for this last, say, inch of this knife blade here has some nice belly. But then you have this kind of reverse tanto here for your scoring cuts. You put that tip down and come back across that belly for your scoring cuts. And the blade length on this little guy, this is only like, is it a 4-inch or 4 1/4? We'll find out. I should know this. I think it is 4, not quite 4 1/2, like 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, just shy of 4 1/2. Just shy of 4 1/2 inch handle, but it has a blade length on that little dude of just under 3 1/2. It's between 3 1/4 and 3 1/2 inches of cutting edge on here. And of course, all models that you're going to see here are going to have one thing in common. It's kind of iconic by now. They are the ones that started the old crossbar lock right here, which Benchmade calls the axis lock. We'll do it here left-handed. It's so easy and fluid on this knife. I can even do it left-handed. But look at that. Look at that, folks. Look at that guillotine. Is that not fluid? Just awesome. The old green aluminum covers, the purple backspacer there. Just love it. The Benchmade 940. And these are in, per se, no particular order. But I can just go ahead and tell you, if I had to pick one, and there's one here, it's at pole. If I could only have one, if Benchmade went away and I could keep one knife ever of a Benchmade, I would have to keep this one. And I have several 940s. I've got some with fancier steels, different covers, but I just brought out the OG to represent the 940. When someone says Benchmade 940 Osborne, this is what you think of. This is the original, and it is a slam dunk home run. They're still selling them today. They're awesome. Secondly, our second president, if you will, and this is the one that I had to go round and around. This would probably be out of the four, last place. So I went from first, and we're going to skip all the way to last. There was 2 or 3 models that I haggled over making that last cut. And I settled on this behemoth. This is the Benchmade 810 Contigo. And it is a absolute HT biggin. It is another, basically, if you could see, check out those blade shapes. Yeah, it is the same. We can turn it around here on the back. You see that boomerang on both of them right here? And if I can do it right here, that denotes that this is a Osborne design on both of them. Basically, this is the massive, beefy big brother to extremely big brother to the Benchmade 940. This is the 810 Contigo, and it is just everything I said about this on steroids times 10. Beefy, tough, thicker, pretty much the same blade shape, has that same belly up here, has that same tip, reverse tanto, has the, I will switch it over to my right hand now where I don't hurt myself, but check it out. The same fluid axis lock that Benchmade is so famous for. And this guy right here, this is actually one that is in CPM M4, has kind of a gray Cerakoted blade on this guy. But this thing, check out all this jimping, folks. If you like jimping, this one has it in spades. We have it on the back. We have it up here. We have, I mean, any way you grip this knife, you are locked in. It is jimp-tastic. But this is definitely a purpose-driven knife. This is a beefy, outdoorsy, rugged kind of, you could make a case for tactical or tactical knife from Benchmade. And I was on the fence. There were several honorable mentions. For time purposes, I won't tell you what this beat out, but this is finally what I came to. And I'm like, if I had 3 or 4 of them there, and I said, if I had to pick one for this last spot, which one would make it? Which one would hurt me the most if it wasn't a thing? And it came down to this one. So this one made it by the skin of its teeth. There was a couple of other ones right on its heel, but you know we love them biggins. So in the event of a tie around the HT channel, the biggin's gonna win out. So this is number 2, the Benchmade Contigo, or their model number is the 810, the 810. just a beefy stud. Number 2, and we will keep going on the same theme. Of beefy studs. No, I'm not talking about your host here. But anyway, I told you I had a knife that I carried the other day, and I said you would see it again. You are definitely seeing it again. This is my second favorite knife that Benchmade has ever made. Behind the old 940. And I do even pause a minute because I love this knife. This is the Benchmade full-size Adamas. And this is an ergonomic, I'll show you, I'll show them side by side. See which one is actually bigger. Handle, actually, the Contigo blade is just a little longer. I can't even get this on frame for y'all. But if I put them end to end, the handles are just about identical. But as you see, and it ain't that much. What do y'all think? 1/4 of an inch maybe? More blade on the Contigo. But this is the gold standard. This is, let me think of any other maker. Ooh, Spyderco. Top 5, it's probably top 3. I'm going to say top 5 big, beefy, brute, HT Biggin moderns. Easily in the top 5, probably top 2, definitely number 1 big, beefy folder from Benchmade. And yeah, the full-size Adamas. Look at these nice, and these are nice and smooth, rounded G10 scales on this thing. Layered, if you can see, it's got some nice, I don't know if my camera's going to get it, but it's got some nice layering in there. This thing is just a dream. The thickness of it, definitely the guy that made this, Siebert was his last name. I forget what his first name is, but he is definitely a tactical guy, and he made this for, you know, tactical purposes, and I just think it's great. I actually carried this knife the other day. I was cutting a block of cheese in here for my ham sandwiches. I cut up tomatoes. Is this thing going to cut tomatoes paper thin like an Opinel? Absolutely not. I mean, you can look at this blade shape and its thickness, and you can tell this is meant for moving some material. But it cut up my ham sandwich, all my my cheese and my tomatoes for my ham sandwich the other day. Just awesome. But this thing just, you talk about feel like something in your hand, confidence inspiring. And look at this. Back to that axis lock. Look at that, folks. I'm not doing, watch my hand. I'm not doing any kind of pendulum. Just watch this when I depress this. That's all that. That puts a whole new definition on smooth. That was nothing HT outside of pulling this little button back, this axis lock right here. Look how long that goes by itself. Smooth as silk, rock solid. I mean, I'm sure this was kind of, for somebody that has some skills, maybe knife fighting, you know, ninja moves and all that. But I just think, I just love it. You know, I'm not a ninja. I'm not a knife fighter. But this just feels awesome in hand. CPM crew wear on this particular one on the blade steel. And there's that guy's name down there, Siebert. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your last name, but he is the designer of the Adamas. And yeah, this is just one of my favorite knives in my collection. Period. Would probably be a top 10 knife of all my knives, and definitely definitely a top 5 modern. And yeah, just love it. Thumb stud deployment here. You can do it 2 ways. You can use the thumb stud right here, or you can grab this axis lock, which is the same on any of these knives I'm going to show you. You can deploy your knife. See, no thumb stud, and just a little centrifugal force. Ridiculous good. That is number 3. And last but not least, for my Benchmade Mount Rushmore. How could you have a Mount Rushmore without the Griptilian? These two, now you talk about flagship models, probably the biggest, in my opinion, the biggest argument that I would get, what is the flagship model from ye old Butterfly, would probably be this, the good old Griptilian. And the one I'm showing you here has been, we have got some mods going on this one. We have some scallop G10 covers on this one in blue. I better not let this one lay on the counter too long. You guys that follow the channel know what I mean about that. But we have some kind of navy blue scallop G10. Those are some aftermarket covers I've put on. And we have this really cool black washed, acid washed sheep's foot blade, which I know Aaron, me and 865 were chatting about this the other day. We both believe this is the best blade shape on the Griptilian, was the old sheep's foot. And I agree with you, Aaron. He was showing a mini Griptilian, and this is the full size. Go figure. You know, HT is going to have the big one, but this is the full size Griptilian. It has been around since a coon's age with Benchmade. It is definitely, in my opinion, I would even go as far as saying a co-flagship model. There has been just a bajillion of these sold throughout the years. Axis lock. We'll check this one out. Oh yeah. Not quite the woo 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 as some of them, but that is still silky smooth. Really, I think I really helped this out with these scalloped aftermarket scales on it. Of course, all these we have pretty much. I am a fan of the Benchmade, their deep carry clip. I know there's aftermarket. You can go get, Lynch Northwest, MXG clips, whatever. But I'm a fan of their just the old standard long, deep carry clip that Benchmade offers themselves. I don't see any reason to swap them out. I have had no problem through the years. This particular one over here, I have the same clip, but it is just silver. More satin. See that? Same clip, just this one is the Parkerized, the black, and more shiny satin over here. But yeah, same thing here on the Adamas, same clip. Love that clip. But yeah, the Benchmade Griptilian, and they got on this particular model. All the other ones had thumb stud. This has the hole deployment. You know who made that popular, but I guess Benchmade kind of borrowed it. I don't know how they got around with all that, but we know who makes the hole deployment and made that popular. But and which is a genius and ingenious idea. I am a big proponent of everybody already knows, the Spidey hole. But I guess we have the bench hole. I don't know what we'd call this one here. Bench. I didn't say, I wasn't cursing there, by the way. Bench hole on this one, and I love it. This blade shape again, not quite. See over here, you have this. Reverse tanto, very aggressive point here. Well, over here, you have that same belly up here. I need to show them again. On both blades, you have about this last inch of nice belly here, but this one has just kind of a nice little bird's beak, kind of swoop down, more of a sheep's foot blade. Very unique. Really nothing else like this blade shape I've ever seen from any other maker, and I love it. Easy to deploy. Like I say, you can use the axis lock and boom, or you can use that Spidey hole that is very big and generous, and your blade is just flying out. So anyway, that, folks, give you a brief recap. The 940 Osborne, the 810 Contigo, the full-size Adamas, and last but not least, the good old Benchmade grip, full-size. That is the HT Benchmade Mount Rushmore models. And folks, hope you enjoyed this. You other creators, I hope you dig this platform. Let's go crazy with it. Let Spyderco, Case, Rough Rider, Kaiser, you name it. Let's see your Mount Rushmore of all these different makers. I'm very interested. I want to hear all the different opinions, and hopefully we see some really cool knives from some different makers that we didn't even think of. Like, oh my goodness, man, I didn't even know that existed. You know, stuff like that. I think it could be really cool, really awesome, and just to see what's out there in the community and what people really love. I just think it's awesome. So, by all means, I am asking for you other content creators to jump on board and let's have some fun with this. Anyway, that's what I got for you. Show us those Mount Rushmore models. I'm HT. We are out.
Buck knives gleaming under that old porch light. He'll tell their stories deep into the night. Reviews and torture tests, it's a sight to see. HT's EDC.